So there are so many issues with this immigrants. What we've seen is most of the time you hear people or some of the participants that we talk to, you hear them talking about their partners.
Yes.
Like when they come here, they grow horns.
Yes.
Or when they begin to get the powers, being it war, money, and so on. When they get these positions, they act like they are the head of the family.
Yeah, well, this is a very controversial topic. I keep telling people is that what I keep telling people is that how you treat people when you are in a powerful position translates to how they will also respond to you when that position is reversed in terms of authority. So if you were back home, she wasn't working, you were the one earning all the money, okay? You were calling the shots. She didn't have a voice. She didn't have any contribution. Or she was shut down. It is just natural that when she comes to Canada and she starts earning money, starts seeing a society that empowers women, she will rebel. So usually when I hear people talk about my partner is rebelling, my wife is rebelling since she came to Canada, the question I ask is, what have you done? Okay? There are two sides to every story. Sometimes the women come here with an agenda as well. Don't get me wrong, it's two sides. It's not only, doesn't mean that the men are always wrong. The women come here with an agenda that I must also fend for my family. Okay? So when they come, first things first, they don't want to have anything to do with when it comes to money. I want to keep my money, keep your money. But the question is, who should work and keep the home? Because the very moment you use suspicion to start acting out, the other person will respond with pain and aggression. So that's why I said, when you travel here, you need to sit down and have an open dialogue. How do you want us to manage money, our finances? Have that open dialogue. Because money has caused a lot of problems in marriages here, especially among immigrants. Money is the number one cause of issues. Number two is learning the wrong way. That some people, they just come here and they see things and just adopt it. They don't even understand how it works. Oh, we visited our church member and the husband was in the kitchen cooking. My husband has never set foot in the kitchen before. We will see. You come and meet me today. So we learn blindly. We copy blindly without understanding what is happening, the dynamics of what is happening. Because every culture is different. So you can't just come in and think that all that happens in Ghana is rubbish. So you're coming to adopt the Canadian style and that is the best one to go. No, it doesn't work that way. So secondly, and the third thing that causes that rift is women change faster than men when it comes to cultural orientation. Women easily change to adopt, assimilating a new culture. Women adopt, men are very slow to change. So when the one is adopting the new culture rapidly, you will start seeing some form of responses that you are not used to, maybe back home. And if you don't have a conversation about it, you assume that she has become arrogant, or now she thinks she's in Canada. Usually that's what we say. But when you have an open conversation, an open dialogue, and nowadays I've seen this trend, what is causing this? That conversation will come up. Okay? And the other thing that causes this rift is the other person feeling insecure. The man thinks that his manhood is gone, his economic power to controlling another human being is gone. So he feels insecure. So he will start making up things in his mind just to make it a reality in his eyes. So even if the wife does something that is very normal that she even used to do in Ghana, now she does the same thing in Canada, there's problem. Because she's very insecure. Okay? Not only men, women also go through that insecurity as well. That, oh, we've come here, we've come to work together. Before you realize this man will take the money and go and build a house for the sister or the brother or the uncle or whatever without me knowing. And it has happened. So it puts a lot of fear in women and men alike. So they also begin to take steps to prevent that from happening. And sometimes in taking the steps, it sends the wrong signal and those rifts will come up. I know I've been long, but
yeah, but this
it's very important.
I think it's a very good point. We've seen some of the cases where a man will go and bring someone from Ghana, and then let's say the wife or even the partner, and the person, when the person comes in, with time, I don't know if it is about influence from friends, influence from people that they come to meet or whatever. They begins to change and then act weird towards the husbands or the partners.
Yeah.
And then to the extent that even some people can, whether they are married, they are not, they will go in for someone in the absence of the man. And then when the man comes to meet some of these issues and react or act on these issues, the man may go into jail or even go back home.
Yeah.
Have you encountered some of these issues and how have you dealt with some of these issues?
It's very common. As I said, the breakdown of communication is a big issue here. The suspicion, okay, the fear, the unspoken disagreements that exist keeps building up and it escalates to a point that you begin to see the other person as an enemy rather than a partner, as somebody who is there for your downfall, and you begin to act out. The most common I've seen is based on finances. You see, let me tell you one thing, humans hate cheating, and most of the time the victims are the women. Most, I didn't say it's all the time, most of the time. The man will start doing so many things behind the wife's back, unknown to her. By doing so many things, I'm not talking about $50 or $100. You know, buying a car for a family member, building a house without the wife knowing. It brings a lot of problems. Another thing also is each partner's unwillingness to allow their husband to reach out to the external family, because that external family need help. When that happens, the other partner will withdraw and begin to go underground. Because remember, marriage is collaboration. Maybe we all came from deep villages back home. Your side need help. Maybe the man's side need more help than the woman's side. Okay, at one point in time. So there should not be any hesitation or any partnership from the wife or from the husband to support the other family in times of need. But when it becomes one way, that when we take money to your side, it's okay, but when I take money to my side, it's a problem, then the other person begins to go cold and starts hiding things. So the biggest thing in those instances is cheating. Okay? And the cheater. And this cheating, I'm talking about financial cheating, economic cheating. Because when you continue to cheat your partner in marriage, it gets to a point you get tired. Revolt is human nature. Back home, when you revolt, they will send the pastors after you. They will send the elders after you. They will send your parent. Community will frown on you to give in. Especially when you are the woman. But here, the systems are designed in such a way that when you revolt, the system will support you when you are right. You guys see the difference?
Yeah.
So, you see the man, because when you beat the woman up, it's 911. They will withdraw you from the house. Right away, you go to jail.
But is this also not on the other side of the issue where when women, because they know that they have this empowerment from the or the support from the government, a lot of time that will happen, they will take phone and call, because the moment police come in, you go.
There are cases like that where women take advantage of the system just to get rid of the man. Because maybe they have already promised somebody back home that when I come, I'll come and marry you and bring you. Or vice versa. It could be both ways. Some people can take advantage of the system. But most of the time, it's that economic cheating that creates the biggest problems. Yes, some people take advantage, and sometimes they regret afterwards because they acted based on false information or expectation. There are so many women who have acted that way, driven their husbands out of the house, 5, 10, 15 years down the line, they regret it. Because they thought that they were teaching him a lesson. This is the time for me to teach him a lesson for all his sins that he committed in Ghana. See? So, yes, people take advantage of the system here too.
I have this interview to an end. There's a question about divorce.
Yes.
Though I will treat divorce separately on different interviews, what is it in the marriage that when people divorce, they cannot talk about to come back, but the best is to go?
I think physical abuse is number one. Physical. And emotional abuse. These are the two top. The physical abuse. And the physical abuse can span from even sexual. You know, some men will just be too aggressive. Right? So the women will get tired of it. So physical abuse is number one. Because then the woman is afraid that when she goes back, this man might end up killing her. Emotional abuse. Some men can insult you well. They will dress you from your toe to your hair and remind you of how worthless you were when they met you and how they have now turned you into somebody important. They will go all out. And vice versa. So women also will do that. They will dress up a man, and that low level of dirty washing of your dirty linen in public. When you go down that path, that's it. The reconciliation is done. No one is coming back. So this physical and emotional abuse is the number one reason. And then of course the economic cheating, when you know that the other person has done so much. For example, you've gone to build a house for your parents, you didn't tell them. You took your money to go and do things for other people. You're going to marry another woman unknown to them. They're never gonna forgive you. If you're going to marry another man unknown to them, they're never gonna forgive you. It's done.
So, like in terms of sexual activities, should a man go to that extent of begging?
No, not at all. Not at all. That's what I'm saying, that no one should use the other person's weakness against them. A man's expectation in marriage is sex. Sex is part of it. So if now you are going to use sex as a punishing tool because you are in Canada, and Canada frowns on polygamy, so you are going to use sex as a tool to punish the one, because you know that in Ghana, when you do that, he is gone. It won't happen in Ghana, because you know that although Ghana, culturally, you have more women, and everybody, you know, either you marry them legally or not. So the woman knows that this is that I'm doing. If I do them in Ghana, my husband will never come home. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I will not see him. But in Canada, knowing that this is the only house this man will come to, this man has nowhere to go. This is after work, he's coming here. And you come and meet me here. When they know that I can box him, put him in this box, and you're using sex and cooking and this thing as a tool to punish the man, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time.
Well, in closing this interview, I think I would like you to give an advice to young guys who are planning to get married and coming into this scene new.
Okay.
What advice do you have for them?
First and foremost, marry someone that you know. Okay? The attraction must be there, but invest into knowing the person. It's very important. And try your compatibility test. Not her appearance, not the size of her breast or her back and all those things. No, no. Your compatibility. Does this girl understand you when you say no? Do you also understand her? Do you trust her? Does she trust you? Can you be open and transparent with her? Usually, we forget that after every wedding comes marriage. We construe wedding to mean marriage. But marriage is a journey. A journey that has no GPS coordinates. But you have to undertake that journey. So make sure that in undertaking that journey, the person you are bringing on board has the things that you lack. Okay? That is very important to me. Make sure the person that you are carrying on that journey has the things that you lack as a person. If you know that this is your personal weakness, look for a woman who has that as a strength to complement you. Listen to your pastors, but don't let them decide for you. They are not the ones going to be in the house with the person. Listen to your parents. They have the best instincts for you. Sometimes just by seeing the person, they will tell you no. If they are being unreasonable, yes, that is also there. By your parents. Because if there's anybody who loves you the most, it's your parents. And they will want the best for you. So they can tell you. My next advice for a young man: don't waste your time saving thousands and thousands of dollars to marry. Marry early. And build wealth with your partner. And when you become successful, don't cheat her financially. See, most of the time, what we hear is that my husband has cheated on me with another girl. I have divorced him. But that is not the problem. There could be financial cheating as well. Make sure you are transparent with your partner. And finally, make sure that you always look for somebody who is ready to forgive you. Because you will offend her. She will offend you. Make sure you find somebody who is ready to forgive you and you are ready to forgive. Human beings are not robots. Of late, we see everyone, oh, as for me, this is why you do this, I'm cutting you out, and then they move on to the next relationship. Some people have been into 20, 30, 40 relationships. They cannot find the perfect man because there's no perfect man in the way. My young folks, this is men's health dialogue. So let me talk to the young man. There's no perfect woman anywhere. And if you're a woman and you're listening to this, there's no perfect man anywhere. But trust me, there are good men out there who will be ready to love you and work with you if you are reasonable. If you are reasonable. If you are wise. If you know how to meet them where they are weak. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. Okay, so thank you very much for your time, and we will come again with another interview from Dr. Odame Ankrah. Don't miss it. Thank you.